Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Nettie Owens. I'm with Sapari Solutions, and this is what businesses need to know right now. Today, we're talking with Jan Cavelle. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure, Nettie.
Jan is an entrepreneur from the UK who has had a few decades running micro and small businesses behind her. I'm excited to share her with you. She just wrote a book, Scale for Success, which we will be talking about in our time here today. And she's just very familiar with all the challenges that having started, that come with running a business, from starting one at the kitchen table when her children were small. Oh, can I relate to that? And she was a single mother to go on to build a multi-million-dollar turnover business. Jan has put her entrepreneurial experiences together with her passion for writing at this book that's aimed at entrepreneurs to grow their businesses during the big leap of 1 to 10 million. The book is Scale for Success, and it's being published by Bloomsbury. It already is published. It's available in the UK and Amazon and everywhere that fine booksellers are located, right? So thank you so much for being here, Jan. It's really a pleasure.
Oh, it's lovely to be here, Nettie. I've been dying to catch up with you. It's great.
That makes two of us. I've read your book, and I really appreciate the insights and the stories that you share here. But first of all, just right now in the world with all the things that are going on, why do you feel like entrepreneurship is so important at this particular time?
It's a great question, Nettie. I mean, I've campaigned for entrepreneurship all my long working life, really. And I'm a great supporter altogether at any time. But I think really right now it's more essential than it's ever been, because I think the safest job is now at risk. We had a lot of jobs at risk through changing times and tech and automation, and now we've had the pandemic as well, which is in the process, sadly, of putting a lot of companies out of business. And I don't think anybody's job's safe anymore. Those days of us leaving school at 16 and signing up in our local bank for life are long gone. So even a side hustle is some way of actually recession proofing yourself and getting some security, taking some control back in your life. So I think that's really important on the one hand. And secondly, I think it's hugely important because as companies are going, who else is going to actually create new jobs but entrepreneurs who are growing? It's the cycle.
Absolutely. I love how you brought up both of those points, because it's actually something that's not really been discussed here, which is the value of your own security, your own financial security of having your own business. And the thought that popped in my mind as you were saying it was that some businesses who are listening are going to say, yes, but my business is struggling. Yeah, but while that's true, you run the ship. You have the choice of how you adapt to that struggle and what you do next, versus being at the whim of, well, your job is no longer necessary, and then looking for what to do next. So having a little less control in that equation.
You do. And, even if you've got a struggling business, you've still got choices. You can open a second one, and see if that takes off more. As you say, the choices lie much more with you.
And an entrepreneurship, I do believe, is really the pathway to innovation and change and solving the problems that we have, because entrepreneurs are willing to explore those ideas, right? They're not so tied to what's always been done.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So what are some of the constants that companies still need to be paying attention to, even in the midst of pandemic, global social unrest, no end in sight to being locked in the house with your loved ones?
Yeah, we've just heard today that we're supposedly being let out, but it's a few weeks yet. I'll believe it when I see it. Yes, constants. I mean, I am a salesperson at heart. And so, my number one, I picked 5 for you, mindful of time, but my number one has to be sales, because without sales, you ain't got a business. Simple as
That's
that.
true.
You've got to have the sales, which means following on from that, my second choice would be marketing and nailing your marketing differential, because only at any time, getting the marketing differential is absolutely essential. And in tough times, it's obviously more so. But that's really vital. You need to stand out from a crowd. Sorry, did you want to make a comment on that?
No, keep going. Sorry, I just got excited and
Shut me up anytime. Third one would be for me nailing the right team. Again, because the wrong people can destroy your business, the right people can make your business unbeatable. And in between will drift as well, and sooner or later you'll run out of steam. So that right team is crucial at all times. Then I would pick systems, because as you grow, you're going to need systems and paperwork in place. And a lot of entrepreneurs glaze over at that one.
oh yes.
But I've been there, done it, and glazed. But yeah, there are people probably in your business, even if you can't do it yourself, that actually enjoy that side of things. And getting it in place is crucial for any business to stabilize it. And I think the last one, and that's so easy to lose sight of, is to concentrate on profit, not growth. Because we get swept up in this, I'm going to get 30% bigger next year. And 30% bigger can be 30% worse off, and if you're in business, it comes down to profit, not size. And I think that's a really important thing to remember.
I think that's really helpful, actually, to bring that back to attention, because, the book that you have is Scale for Success. You're talking about two people who want to grow, but if you don't have a focus on profit, you can grow. There are many ways to grow and not actually create a better business for yourself or even the people who you serve or your employees.
Absolutely.
So keeping that in mind, I really appreciate you bringing that up. I'm curious for you, as you were writing this, did anything stand out for you? Were there any big surprises, that came to you, or maybe just something an awareness that you want to share?
I think one of the things that fascinated me was the differential, which I mentioned towards the end, of the few points. Most of the points made, sort of the majority of people I was researching and working with agreed. But I think there's a big split which has come about from a change of amount of money available to startups.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the more experienced entrepreneurs are really quite anti the idea of too much money being available too quickly, and they feel that there's no substitute for experience, and drip feeding or bootstrapping is really a good thing to do, or can be a good thing to do. And yet the younger ones were going, oh, well, I'm building a huge tech business. I think there's a disparity of generations going on at the moment. And as yet, we've got no data available proving that massively funded businesses are actually, it's better going back to the growth thing, actually, growth and profit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with something like Uber, when's it going to get to the size that it's actually profitable? Because at a certain size, it's going to be potentially market winner. But
Right.
how much money do you chuck at something before it becomes profitable?
The way you put it that way, it does make you pause and question. So that's really insightful. I wonder where the research would come from. And I think that would be interesting to dive into. Maybe some of the business schools could open up those questions and find out. But you're right. I do think that too much can be thrown at it in the beginning.
Mm.
And at the same time, there has to be a certain amount that allows you to move forward and make decisions without being so tied to,
Absolutely,
it's the money that's there.
Yeah, it's a balance of drip feeding so that you're not perpetually distracted and worried and climbing walls about money,
Right.
but equally so you're not flooded and borrowing for no good reason.
I just realized the time. I'm going to pop up your link, and then I want to ask you one more question. I understand that a part of this will not be available on LinkedIn, so just go to the YouTube video and you can see the rest. So last question, just because I'm having too much fun. If you haven't already, do check out Jan's website and look up her book, her new book, Scale for Success, Expert Insights into Growing Your Business. It is a resource that any business of any size could use. Just turn to any chapter and check that out. So as you are, having these conversations with growing companies and sharing insights with them, do you feel like they need to be doing something different right now than what they have been doing?
I think a lot of it comes down for team care and team contact. But I think, speaking to experts recently, I think a lot of companies are assuming that means they need to speak, or people who run the companies, that they need to speak to their team all the time, and that can be very easily be misconstrued as being checking up on people. Whereas what team really miss is not their managers, strange though it may seem, they actually miss each other. And so enabling you people to spend a certain amount of time working in teams, be it through Google Meets or whatever, however much they decide. Some people are naturally solitary, but but people who need it really badly, and to encourage that feeling of being part of something. If people can see each other, it really makes an enormous difference.
Well, I think it's for everyone. My introverted husband reminded me that even he is climbing the walls, which means that for our
Really?
extroverted friends, they must really, truly be suffering. And to be reminded that as a business, this is something you can cultivate, and it will help your team be more productive. It'll help your team just be whole human beings, but to provide some of that outlet for them through work and connection. So thank you for that. It's been a pleasure to have you on here, Jan. I'm so glad you joined us. Do check her website out, pick up her book, and then let us know if you have any questions. And reach out if you are a growing company who would like to find out more about how she can support you. Thank you.
Nettie, thank you.